This is AIBL video 6. It's about what to do on day 1 of the term. Day 1 is a really important day. That's the day when you make your first impression. It sets the tone for the course, sets class norms, and you start to work on student buy-in. In this video, we're going to share with you an activity that you can use in your class to get started on the right foot. So here's the activity. It's pretty simple. You ask 2 questions. What is one of your hobbies? And how did you get good or better at it? Once you give these questions to your students, you can ask them to think for a moment about the questions and then introduce themselves to a neighbor sitting next to them and then have a discussion about the questions. During that time period, you can go and visit some groups, check in with some students, and start to get to know some of their names. After a few minutes, I ask students to go up to the board and write their hobby on one part of the board and how they got good or better at that hobby on another part of the board. One of the cool things you'll learn is that students have a lot of different hobbies, and that's great to see all that variety and diversity. Another thing that comes up every single time is that practice and time on task are the ways that the students got better at their hobby. They didn't get better because they watched someone else doing it, or they just watched TV, or just read a book. They actually did it. They practiced again and again, and some for many years. In the photo here, you have a student who said trained for 14 years, and another student wrote playing for 13 years. So they already understand that practice over a long time period is how they got better. And that's your opening to the idea that there is no math gene. You get better at math because you practice. Practice is one of the ingredients of success. And if you believe in practice, then you know that practice is connected to growth mindset, that you get better because you practice. And so you can ask students, what do you do when you get stuck doing one of your hobbies? You practice. And so hard work and growth mindset are 2 key ingredients of success. We also want students to be patient with the process. Learning is not an easy process. It takes time. And it takes time because you have to be patient with being stuck. You're going to get stuck sometimes when you're studying math. And it's okay to be stuck. Being stuck is normal. Being stuck is natural. And we're going to figure out the answers together. You are not alone. We have a whole class full of people who are here to help. I'm here to help. I'm your instructor. I will help you get through this material. And the people sitting next to you, your classmates, they are here to help you as well, and you can help them as well. All right, so let's get to work. All right, so once you get through that, you've set the tone. You've set and established that practice is important, that being stuck is part of the process, that students are going to get help, and you've made a connection to something that students have already been successful at in their life. So that's a good start. So now we need to talk about some of the caveats when you start off this way. So if you start off the course with the idea of being stuck is okay, and that students have to practice to get better, then these are things that need to be present in the classroom on a regular basis. And further, the course materials, teaching, assessment, and support for students need to be aligned. So those are things that you have to think about as well. It's not just coming in there and having a nice activity. Your course should also be designed around these things as well. So that way everything's aligned. All right, so let's recap. You start the activity with hobbies because that's where students have had positive experiences in their life, and also experiences where practice and making mistakes and being stuck led them to getting better at what they're doing. And math is the same. Math isn't a subject where you're just born doing it naturally. You get better by practicing and by having a growth mindset and making a lot of mistakes and learning from those mistakes. And there's a lead-in now to active learning and IBL, that students didn't get better at their hobbies by watching someone do it or watching videos. They actually had to do it. If a student did music, they didn't just watch or listen to records, right? They had to actually play their instrument. And it's the same for math. You get better at math by practicing and making a lot of mistakes and learning from those mistakes. And so that's an important message to get across to students. that the way you were successful in other aspects of your life, those are things you already know how to do, and you can apply them right here in this math class.